My name is Kanya Sim. I'm from Long Beach, California. And this is my first convention. And I brought with me 3 special other people. First of all, I wish to thank head coach Alicia and his family for giving us this great opportunity to stand before you today. I'm from Orange County Financial Center. A special thanks to my CEO, Michelle Hong, and Ben Nguyen, her husband, Connie Hor, and Jiwan Uk for recruiting me. The theme of my life seems to be about revolutions and freedom. I was born in a refugee camp in Thailand during the Cambodian Communist Revolution, and where an estimated 1 to 3 million was mass murdered. We came to this country in 1983 with just clothes on our back to seek freedom in America. We settled in the low-income part of Long Beach. With the limited resources we had, life was very hard for our family. The aftermath of the war had scarred my family life. Growing up, I was a rebel with no cause. In junior high school, I can recall the last week of school sitting in the principal's office about to be expelled. Fortunately, I didn't, and I would go on to high school, and that's where I would meet Ms. Erin Gruel in room 203. This is how I would learn about the Holocaust and genocides around the world. Learning about that hit home for me. I was one of those kids that were labeled the unteachable. But through her guidance and belief, 149 other students were able to inspire, change the world by writing down our personal stories into a book that we now call Freedom Writers. Why I joined WFG? Well, in 2014, my father entered the emergency room, and before my very eyes, he suffered a stroke. Right away, he died from a brain aneurysm. After his death, we scrambled to put together his funeral service. I was so distraught and ashamed that as his daughter, I could not provide the life I wish I could give to him. I never got the chance to utter the words ever in my life that I loved him. Because of cultural difference, we were taught to not express our feelings. So for a while, that it wouldn't matter much. No matter how much money I would make, it wouldn't matter because I couldn't revive my father to be alive. So I lost hope and I didn't care. But shortly after, I realized I have a duty to continue fighting to ensure that my son's future would be better, just like my dad did for us. Wallowing in self-pity would do no justice. I would make it as my life mission that with what my father suffered to bring me to this country, I would go on to make better causes so that other families will be properly protected and gain wealth. I am honored to be part of this revolution as a financial freedom fighter. Through injustice, I became a rebel with a cause. 150 kids changed the world through sharing our collective stories in a book. What can a group of 15,000 be able to achieve here? That is why I recruited my fellow freedom writer, best friend, Tiffany Jacobs, whom I've known for 23 years, to join forces with me on this new task. Dr. Seuss said, and I quote, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not."
Hello, my name is Tiffany Jacobs. Before living in California, I was actually born in this great state of Louisiana. Give it up for Louisiana. But I grew up in a household filled with domestic violence. And for a long time, I never truly believed that dreams could come true until I was placed in Aaron Gruel's class in high school. My parents met in Shreveport at 14 years old. They had a baby by 16, me at 18, two more by the time they were 22. So it was a young love. But my father became an alcoholic and a drug addict. And for any of you that are familiar with those demons, you understand the abuse that can come from them. I remember my mother getting beaten to a bloody pulp, so bad that her eyes were swollen shut, and her lips were bleeding and sore, and she could hardly even smile at her own children. When my father got a job in California, he promised us life was going to be better. But when we got there, unfortunately, he led us to a life of homelessness and desolation, where we had to live on the streets, in hotels and motels, homeless shelters with rats and roaches, never knowing where our next meal would come from, always depending on the government every first of the month just to survive. If you've seen the Freedom Rider movie, then you've seen my mother standing on those streets with a homeless will work for food sign, striving to feed her family. So I know why financial literacy is so important for all communities, because if my mother had known better, she would have done better to protect and provide for her family. I was so grateful for Ms. Gruel for introducing Holocaust education to us, because we got an opportunity to meet actual survivors, not victims, who rebuilt their lives from nothing after being starved and tortured and displaced. And that was everything that I had always felt growing up. And for the first time, I got excited about education because I thought real change is possible. When Ms. Gruel told me that if I think about something and put my mind to it, and I believed in all my heart that I could make it happen, and I actually put into plan and took the steps to make it happen, then all dreams can come true. And so I made it a point to graduate from college and receive my degree from Cal State Long Beach in corporate training and development. But still, that wasn't enough. You know those t-shirts that say I went somewhere and all I got is a t-shirt? Well, I feel like I went to college and I got a piece of paper with my name with calligraphy on it. I was still living paycheck to paycheck, still not knowing the financial education that would allow me to solidify my family's future and never live a life of poverty, never lay my head on a concrete ground ever again, never stand in a food line and ask for food to eat ever again. In high school, I was inspired to believe in myself. And now that I know I can accomplish anything, my goal through WFG, WSB, is to reverse the cycle of poverty and teach families and help families to understand that they never have to live a hopeless existence. They can keep a roof over their heads. They can feed their families. They can thrive. They can prosper. They can teach financial education for generations to come. And that's why I joined this business. I know I can do it. Do you know you can do it? Ms. Gruel told me if I think it and I believe it, then I can achieve it. Can I hear you say that? If I think it and I believe it, then I can achieve it. I don't think I believe that. Did you believe it? I think we need one more round. Let's give it all we got. If I think it and I believe it, then I can achieve it. You better believe dreams come true. Thank you so much.